Recently, I've seen hundreds of people on Instagram sharing this post here talking about the new Instagram algorithm. I've seen it plastered all over Instagram, from celebrities talking about it to influencers to big brands to social media experts and agencies. So I figured I'd make this video, talk about it, show you guys the actual truth about the algorithm, and it seems like no one else is doing that. Everyone else is pushing this false narrative. As you can see, this post here talks about the new algorithm of how you can best support your favorite creators. Now, this post is basically ranking different actions that you take on the platform from best to worst, based on how far it will push that piece of content inside of the algorithm to reach new people and grow the creator's account. With saves being seen as the best, shares being seen as the second best, comments being seen as the third best, and likes being viewed as the least important form of engagement. Now, first things first, when we're taking a look at these posts, the one thing that should really stand out is not a single one of these accounts, and I have messaged some of the accounts that posted this, have cited any research, any data, any sources of information, or anything that could show this is true. All of them have just posted this and just said this is how it is, but none of them have actually said why or shown something from Instagram or shown data or have hacked into the algorithm to find out. Like, there's no actual evidence that any of them have presented, which right off the bat makes it seem a bit sketchy. On top of this, Instagram haven't posted any algorithm updates on their blog in the past 2 months, which means they're not pulling it from the blog, because otherwise they would have posted about it sooner. Side note, I actually did make a video breaking down the exact way the algorithm works according to Instagram and based on the data that they literally gave to us, saying exactly how the algorithm works, how the ranking works, and so on. I made a full video about that right here on my channel. Instagram have actually since removed that article from their blog, so if you want to go and see what they talked about that, where they broke down how the algorithm works, again, it's in this video here. So we know there's no evidence behind this post, or none that has been presented to the public anyway by any of these accounts. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that the post is wrong. Just like a broken clock is right twice a day, sometimes a random guess can actually be true, just not as often as guesses based on evidence. Here's what we do know about the post ranking though, coming from Instagram. On January 24th, 2020, Instagram posted on their @creators account on Instagram saying that the 4 key metrics are comments, likes, reshares, and views when it comes to ranking your content. Interestingly enough, there's no mention of saves. However, I think they just picked 4 rather than making a full list. They just picked some of the most popular ones. Make of that what you choose though. Now let's take a look at Instagram's blog article that they published in December of 2020, going over exactly how their algorithm works, coming directly from Instagram. To quote the article, it says, "The home feed ranking system ranks the post from the sources you follow based on factors like engagement, relevance, and freshness." Then going on to say, "We rank a given post based on many factors of engagement and aversion, which act as labels in our ranking pipeline. These include positive engagement factors such as like, comment, and save, and negative factors such as not interested and see fewer posts like these." Under this, they added, "The weights are tuned using offline replay over user sessions and online Bayesian optimization." I'll be honest, I've got no clue what those 2 things are. However, they then added after that, "We tune these factors and weights frequently as our system evolves," which is pretty much the evidence that we're looking for right there on that last line that I just read. I'll say it again. We tune these weights frequently as our system evolves. So there is no set weight to each action on Instagram that stays like that forever. They may be changing it hourly, they may be changing it daily, maybe weekly, maybe monthly, and they're changing the weights of each action. On top of this, different actions may hold different weights for different people. For example, if I like a lot of content and you maybe don't like a lot of content, but you save a lot of content. For someone like myself to go out and save a piece of content, considering I very rarely do that, may seem as more important in the algorithm compared to someone like yourself who may save a lot of content, but you don't share much content. So if you share something and you only do that once a month, that may seem as much more powerful for you. So it's different weights for different people based on their actions. That's just a guess though. So despite this post that a lot of people have shared saying that saves are number 1 and shares are number 2 and comments are number 3 and likes are number 4, Instagram themselves have said that weights constantly change and there is no set weight to each action, which stays like that for a period of time. And they constantly change how much these factors rank inside of their algorithm. And I would just assume that basically means they're trying to work out what factors lead to someone most enjoying a piece of content. Like they're probably trying to work out, if I love a piece of content, how do I react to it? Maybe I like it and I share it. So for me, that's going to be the number one ranking in the algorithm. And if I just like it and tag a friend, maybe that's the second ranking for me. But if you interact different on the platform, they may well weight the different actions differently. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it did in my head, but I don't know if I've conveyed that well. Now, I did see another self-proclaimed Instagram expert post about this original piece of content saying it is false and that the correct way is to switch the first two, meaning share is the most powerful, save is the second most, comment is the third most, and like is the lowest ranking factor. Weirdly, when someone asked this guy for evidence on how he found these claims, he pretty much just turned around and said you have to pay for our premium membership to find the evidence for this post. Which seems weird to give away the tip for free, like give away the results of your finding for free, and then say if you want to see the evidence to prove that I'm not just lying to you, you have to pay me. I'm not hating or disagreeing, and this is actually probably a more accurate representation of what you should be targeting. I just find this interesting. They're not going to show their data unless you pay. Now, I would say based off my experience that targeting shares is going to be the biggest way that you can increase your reach on a specific post. As obviously you are being promoted to a new group of people who didn't know you most likely. It just means the content's being shared, which is great, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, yeah, you're going to rank better on hashtags and explore because of that share. Again, I don't know if I've explained that well, but basically you can get more reach on your posts by getting a lot of shares because you're getting exposed to that new audience, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're ranking better in the algorithm because of that increased reach, because maybe it might decrease the amount of reach on your hashtags and your explore, which actually means you're getting worse algorithm ranking because of those additional shares, but that's a bit technical. But at the end of the day, before I move on to the final point, I just want to say that in general, you shouldn't really be trying to optimize just for likes or just for saves or just for shares to try and push yourself in the algorithm and get in front of your audience more. Because if someone engages with your content, it doesn't matter how they engage, whether they share it to their story, whether they save the piece of content, whether they tag a friend, leave a comment, or drop a like on the post. If people are doing that consistently, Instagram are going to show your content to them. It doesn't matter how they engage, as long as they do engage, and that's real engagement that's coming because they actually enjoy the piece of content. If you put out great content that people enjoy and they consistently like it, Instagram is going to put that content in front of them because these people have shown that they like it. And Instagram want to show people content they enjoy so they stay on the platform longer. It's pretty common sense. You shouldn't necessarily be optimizing to, oh, if I get more shares, I'm going to rank on hashtags, or if I get more saves, I'm going to show up and explore. Just post content that people are engaging with and try and increase your overall engagement over time by improving that content and picking up new fans along the way. Now, another claim I saw people add to the original photo was that by getting a lot of saves, you can remove the shadow ban. And this is also not true. Instagram shadow ban you for one of two reasons. Either number one, your content just isn't great and people have stopped engaging with it, and over time, Instagram has decreased your reach because of it. Or number two, your content goes against the Instagram community guidelines, and then obviously they're going to be decreasing your reach because you're breaking the rules. Artificially increasing the number of saves or shares by begging your audience to specifically save content or share content just because your audience may think it may help you probably won't actually help you in the long run or even in the short run. Only getting down to the actual root of the problem is going to be what will help you solve this. I'm going to make a full video on the shadow ban maybe next week, but if your goal is to remove the shadow ban, you first need to identify what you've done wrong. So if you're shadow banned because you're breaking the community guidelines, go read the community guidelines and then look at your content and look at how you can make it so it fits within the rules. You are using Instagram's platform, they own it, so you got to make sure that you're playing by their rules so that you can fit in and get reach. Going out there and asking people to save your content whilst not actually addressing the root of the problem is not going to help you. Then the first problem of not having engaging content, simply look at ways you can up your content. Look at your competition and see how you can do it better than them. Look at your best performing posts, write down some notes that you made from why they did so well, and then start adding that into your future content. So to sum up this entire post, it's not entirely accurate. at all, which often is the case when people are just guessing and not citing research or so on. But how do you actually grow with the algorithm in 2021? Well, you should really watch these two videos up here on my channel to get a better understanding of things. The first video is going to show you 25 different things that you could be doing according to Instagram that is causing them to limit your reach because you're breaking the community guidelines. The second video is going to give you a full breakdown of exactly how the Instagram algorithm works based off the blog post published by Instagram of them literally walking you through how the algorithm works. And they've since deleted that post, so if you want to see the main points from it simplified for you to be able to understand, go watch the video, I've linked it below. But here's the two best tips for this video before you do leave. Number one, serve your audience. Focus on creating genuinely awesome content that these people are gonna love, and because they love this content, they're gonna like it, they're gonna tag their friends, they're gonna share it, they're gonna save it. Rather than asking for them to do a specific engagement, just create great content that they're gonna want to engage with. And number two is just be really genuine. Engage with your audience, engage with new audiences, and do it in a way that feels natural and just genuine. Don't try and spam everything. Don't try and use bots all day to get your account in front of more people. Focus on genuinely great content and just being really authentic. Lastly, the Instagram algorithm is extremely smart. If you are creating content that fits within their guidelines and really serves your audience that they're gonna love, Instagram will start pushing it to more similar people over time. What they do is they tend to serve your content to people similar to those who best engage with your content through their explore pages. So if you've got 1,000 people who follow you who all fit a certain demographic and they love your content, Instagram will go out there, find more people like that, put your content in the explore feed. If they get a positive reaction out of that, if these people engage with it, which if it's great content, they will, then Instagram is just going to keep pushing it to more and more people. Regardless of if someone makes the right actions to promote your content like this post is claiming, that doesn't really matter. Instagram have got so many data points they can work out if someone genuinely enjoys a piece of content or not. So make content your target audience love. Serve them, follow the right growth tactics that we talk about on this channel, and over time you're going to see awesome results. That's it for this video. I hope it helps. I've linked the videos below, the one about the 25 things in the Instagram algorithm if you want to check that out. I'll link all the tools that I use for Instagram growth and so on as well. That's it. See you next time.